Hey, what's up guys? Mike here. Today we're going to talk about my 6 tips for living on the cheap. I think it's safe to say everybody wants to make more money, and I also think it's safe to say if we make more money, we probably spend more money. That's usually the way it works. These 6 tips all help me to keep living on the cheap regardless of how much money I'm making at the time. Tip number 1, only buy the items you're planning to buy. Anytime I go to a store, I pretty much have a list in my head of what I'm going to buy. If I see something else that catches my eye, I force myself not to buy it, and I'll come back tomorrow to get it. If I still want it the next day, I have no problem driving down to the store, picking the item up, and going through all that hassle. But I'll tell you, most of the time, I couldn't care less. I don't want to go back to the store. What that tells me is I don't want it, I don't need it, and I just saved some money. So forcing yourself to wait a day can save you a lot of cash. This can be tricky with online shopping, but I think a 24-hour rule will still work. Tip number 2, don't use your credit card for everyday purchases. Day to day, week to week, and month to month, I go cash only. Now, this isn't going to work for more expensive items like furniture, lawnmowers, things like that. For those items, I like to create a separate bank account that I don't have access to day to day, and I make payments into that. Once I've proven I can make those payments and I can afford the item, I just pull the cash, buy the furniture, the lawnmower, whatever it is, pay cash and be done with it. No credit cards. Tip number 3, pay your credit card immediately. Don't wait until you get the bill at the end of the month. Anytime I buy something on the credit card, I log into my banking and I make that payment right away. I don't wait. My general thought is, if I have time to make the purchase, I have time to make the payment. Plus, when that money leaves my bank account, I'm not going to be tempted to spend it again later. Tip number 4, track your purchases daily. Take a little bit of time and make a spreadsheet with all kinds of columns on it with the typical purchases you go through a month. And every night, sit down and make entries into those columns so you know where you've spent your money. The key to that one is to have one column at the end and call it lost money. Anytime you can't remember what you spent your money on, make an entry into lost money. My thought is, if I can't remember what I bought, I might as well not have bought it, and I might as well have thrown that money straight in the garbage or lost it. This tip doesn't directly affect your spending, but by seeing where you spend your money, it can actually have a good effect on you. Tip number 5, cut back on your indulgences and your habits just a little bit. Don't try to go cold turkey, because that's not going to work. As an example, if I find myself buying 4 cups of coffee a day, I'm going to try to bring that down to 3. Might not sound like a lot, but at the end of the week and the end of the month, that's actually a lot of cash. Plus, if you can find 2 or 3 habits like this, they'll all add up and you'll really have some good savings at the end of the month. Tip number 6, don't be in a rush to get the latest technology. We all get super excited when mobile phone version number 26 comes out and we want to rush out and buy it right away. But let's face it, we can all get by just well with version 25, no hassle. If you happen to be buying some new electronics, take a look at the stuff that's 1 generation old and see if it suits your needs. It probably will, and there's a good chance you can save 25 or 30%. Might not sound like a lot on its own, but if you have a family of 4 people, that can add up a lot over the course of a year as well. Now, none of these tips are silver bullets that are going to change your life overnight. That's not really the point here. However, being aware of all the little things can have quite an impact over time. Taking care of those little things and your habits and your indulgences will help you stay on track with your long-term goals. Hopefully you can find something in these tips that you can apply to your life. I believe we can all get to our bigger goals by having some systems in place to keep control of our habits and our choices. And if you have any tips that you'd like to share to save you money, drop a comment below and let me know. I'm always on the lookout for new stuff. And if you found this interesting, please consider subscribing to my channel. That's it for now, and I'll see you next time.